Ardoyne.
Just over the Bone Hills is.
I played in Ardoyne for Park Hill.
Park Hill. Right.
Park Hill, Carrick Hill team.
I believe there used to be 7, 8, 900.
There'd have been 1,000 people there on a Sunday night. Your mother's and fathers, if you had told your mother and father, you're going to Ardoyne.
Yeah.
It was it.
It was a place to be.
You'd have got up, yes, packed. Packed with people.
You must have played with some good Ardoyne men.
Some I played with trainer. Played with trainer, and I played. If I didn't mention Charlie McGarty, played again the like of the McGartys. They actually came from the Bone. Yeah. They didn't like anybody. Everybody picked them like everybody else now. And there was a man came to the house one time, I was playing just to get on the Clintonville team, and a man called the Silver Fox, Joe Curry. Right. He was a manager of Beauville. And he asked me to play in the final like in Glenview. I was an old Ardoyne first. Right. And went over Old Park Avenue, and crowds and crowds at the match, and I beat them 4-1. Yeah. And I scored a hat trick against Michael McGarty. Wow. And Charlie McGarty started riots that night because he hit Algie McCauley. And anybody who was at the match would remember the free throw. Charlie would hit you from the back.
Tattooed in their memories?
Yes, tattooed in their memories.
He'd hit you from the back.
Charlie would hit you from and kick you from the back. Didn't like getting kicked back.
Yes.
So then, as I say, went to train with Cliftonville, and it was.
You were with the Strollers now?
The Strollers,
right?
And they got into the playoffs. The playoffs with Linfield Swifts or whatever, the third Linfield Rangers, and the match was the night that Real Madrid beat Eintracht 7-3, and the Old Park Avenue, and Sid Over was manager of Cliftonville Strollers, and Sid Over got us into the dressing room and he says, "Now, this is no Park Avenue now. If old timers remember it, the thing is a school there now." Yeah. And Sid Over got us together and he says, "Now, lads, I'll tell you, do your best not let them score. Keep the score down and maybe get them in the second half." Well, the match started and I scored 5 in the first half, and Sid Over took a heart attack. But he didn't die, and we beat them 6-1. And we all got back home that night to see.
What position did you play, Danny?
Well, they played me inside left, number 10.
Right.
But I would have been playing up front, the way they call it now,
versatile
striker.
Right.
But I used to love playing a left half position, even within the goals. Yes. Because according to the Gaelic, I'd done goals not for Cliftonville, but the goalkeeper would have got injured. Adam done the goals.
Stood in. So, what age were you when you finally broke through the full Cliftonville team?
The full Cliftonville team, 18.
18.
See, that's a say because there was 16, maybe 17.
And
no, it would have been 17. I played 2 years for Cliftonville.
2 years.
I won an amateur cap with Cliftonville.
Right.
And I was leading goal scorer with Cliftonville then. They were all amateur.
Yes.
And we used to get paid to go down to Isabel's. They give you a voucher to get your grub. After the match, you went down there after the grub.
Where was Isabel's?
Isabel's was down.
It's not the same
as
the
Wellington, not that, no. The Wellington bar, I think it is, down around there. Because we used to go in the back way. Right. No, when the bus would have left you off. The supporters used to go with Cliftonville in the bus outside the Ulster Hall. Now, and then from Cliftonville, Glentoran asked me to sign. Right. And after 2 years with Cliftonville, which was very good years with me. They were very, very good to me.
Yes. Well, I'm a passionate Cliftonville supporter.
Yes.
Remember the days when you used to be able to jump over? Well, one time I was at a match and I jumped over, and this Cliftonville official came after me and he says, "Hey boy, get back in here." Where you normally jump over to get in, and I was jumping over to get out. That's how bad they were doing that season.
Maybe I was watching me and
they were playing with their jerseys on back to front to make it look like they were going forward.
Yeah, so as I say, it's the same for the Glens. And by the way, my 2 grandsons have signed for Cliftonville. Right. 8 and 12. And they're not bad.
They're on the books.
But I'm not as good. I'm not as good as what they were. And Donny, my son Donny for Newington, get that in. So since for the Glens, and I was batting in the goals for the second team. Right. And they were changing me from left half to inside left. I was scoring goals all the time. So eventually got into the first team in Derry City. Right. The Glens hadn't won a match for about 6 matches or something. Derry City, Ernie Taylor signed for Derry, and the match was at the Oval. And I scored the first goal, and I beat Derry City 5-1. Right. Now I was in and out of the team, but there used to be a rule then that if you played so many matches for the first team, you weren't allowed to play in the Intermediate Cup. No, I made a good side, settled team for the Intermediate Cup.
Yes.
Actually, people don't know, Gordon Bradley was goalkeeper for Glentoran Seconds. He played in the FA Cup final against Wolves, I think 1949.
Yes.
Gordon
Right,
Bradley.
wow.
Yeah,
Amazing.
he's a full-time professional coach at the tennis.
Right.
So when I was in the team, Walter Bruce asked for a transfer. Now Walter Bruce, the season before, he was number 10, I was number 10. The season before, he won an international cap for Ireland against Scotland. So obviously a newcomer coming in,
Yes.
the found it awkward.
Yes. You were on no wages then, it was amateurs, you say?
Amateurs,
You weren't
amateurs,
getting paid,
know what I mean? But you got a couple of pound expenses.
Yes.
So we ended up the move, Walter Bruce kept me on the inside left, number 10, and Walter Bruce the left half. But we won the Intermediate Cup. It was a year that Linfield won every trophy.
Yes.
In the Glens, poor old Harry Walker got the sack.
Right.
Played.
They were good days too with the Glens.
They were good.
Looked after them. Things were different
Brilliant
than
with the
what they were.
Glens. Honestly, I have to admit, the Glens was smashing.
Yeah.
So it ends up, the Glens, I was doing, what was it? The Intermediate Cup. The Blues won everything. So we got the Intermediate Cup and Ballyclare Comrades. We played Ballyclare in the final. Now I was left half, number 6.
Right.
I had to play left half.
Yes.
That's it. And we beat Ballyclare, which was the best junior team. They were one of the top junior teams. And we beat them in the final at Grosvenor. And that was the only trophy Glentoran won that year.
Right.
I think it was 1971, 70. Wouldn't it be 71? 70.
70.
So it ended up very good year with Glens. And they didn't ask me to sign again. They just let me go.
Right. So when did you play internationally, Liam? When were you picked?
I got won 3 amateur caps. And
Right.
I got picked again the three matches that I got. I never got an easy match. It was against England.
Yes.
3 matches. Played one over at High Wycombe.
Yes.
And I played at the Oval. And I played at Ballymena. Now Malcolm Brodie, the reporter.
Belfast Telegraph.
Yes. But beat England. There was about 7 or 8 of their team played in the Great Britain Olympic team.
What year was this, Danny?
That would have been 65.
Because
65.
in 1958, Northern Ireland got to the quarterfinals of the World Cup. It was their greatest ever achievement. So
Yes.
you just were on the crest of a wave.
But that was the amateur team. We
Oh,
know
right.
the amateur team.
Right.
That was different. I got
Yes.
mentioned once.
Yes.
Me and Sammy Pavis by Malcolm Brodie saying me and Sammy Pavis scored near 100 goals between us in the league.
Prolific goal
And he
scorer.
says, Sammy, and he says, why not give these two people a chance against Wales? He says, they're the top goal scorers.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Sammy scored 63. I scored 56. You know what I mean? I was playing for the Cruise then.
Yes.
And Sammy got 63 goals. And I missed a lot of matches over going to see Celtic.
Right. Well, tell me this. I believe your wife died tragically. She was only 23.
Yes.
And you were due to play an international match that week.
No.
Talk to me about that.
The
Because that made front page news. That was not
it
just
happened,
national, but the whole of the British Isles.
It happened, what was that there? I remember playing Scotland, amateur, and I was at Hampden Park.
Yes.
Well, it had scored so many goals in the league, I thought I might have got on to the team. And I didn't get on to the team, but when that there happened, so it did.
Right.
So as I say, well, I had my mother and my father helping me, my sisters, 2 sisters, everybody got round.
Yes.
But we've done that by
but there was
got on with their life, like no.
There was a lot of tributes coming, as I say, it was in all the papers. And
but see, when you're a young woman dying, it's the same now. You get the papers now when people die. It was a disease fall behind her heart,
yes,
which never showed up.
Yes.
The thing where now those things just show up.
Yes.
She just took a fit of coughing and spitting up blood. And I thought it might have been just anything called. That's what happens. It was
and how many children do you have, Danny?
of 3.
3 children.
Jared.
2 boys and a girl.
2 boys. Jared, Kathy, and Donny.
Yeah.
And Donny, as I say, plays for Newington, very good, but he's had a couple of injuries this last year.
Right.
So I think he's packed that in, so he did.
You omitted to say that you also played for the Candy Stripes. You played for Derry.
Oh, Derry City. Oh, yes. So
you went from Cliftonville to Glentoran.
Glentoran, and from Glentoran to Crusaders.
Crusaders.
And Crusaders, I was scoring goals left, right, and centre.
Yeah.
Scoring goals left, right, and centre. But I never got. I went to see Celtic, and there was a whole argument over it, and started to give me a bit of a supporters turned